Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to greet everyone a lovely Thursday morning. From the bottom of my heart, I praise and thank you, our dear Almighty, for securing us all from the fangs of novel corona COVID-19 pandemic for His sovereign purpose. My heart swells with uncontrollable tears for those of our dear ones who rested in the lap of eternal timelessness after waging a priceless battle for their lives. Our awesome Lord kept us. May His name be glorified and be praised. In these times of our praise, the Department of Political Science, Andhra Loyola College, welcome students, scholars, teachers, public servants, and political scientists for this national webinar on Right to Information Act issues and challenges. The Right to Information Act 2005 was enacted to promote transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority by ensuring that citizens are able to secure access to information under the control of public authorities. Facilitating such access is necessary to ensure the democratic process are not subverted by public authorities acting under private interest, where transparency is not upheld as a value of public decision making. Citizens are at the disadvantage when it comes to keeping a check on the abuse of power by the public authorities. The right to information is thus one of the most important tools at the disposal of public to engage with and demand transparency and accountability from the government. The necessary mechanism for enforcing the new laws is also strained by growing number of complaints and appeals. To throw more light on issues and challenges, we have an eminent speaker, orator, bureaucrat, jurist, scholar, and chairman of Intellectuals and Citizens Forum, Shri.P.Vijayababu garu, former Commissioner, Right to Information, to enlighten us on the topic. Thank you, sir, Vijayababu garu, for accepting our invitation to be the guest speaker for this national webinar. Friends, we shall begin webinar with Loyola prayer song.
ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా ఆంధ్రలోయోలాను మా అమ్మలోయోలాను ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా ఆంధ్రలోయోలాను మా అమ్మలోయోలాను ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా ఎన్నుకొనిన రంగములో నిపుణులుగా మము మలచే ఆంధ్రలోయోలాను మా అమ్మలోయోలాను ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా మనసు కలిగి మసలుకొను మనుషులుగా మము మలచే ఆంధ్రలోయోలాను మా అమ్మలోయోలాను ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా పరుల కొరకు జీవించు నరులనుగా మము మలచే ఆంధ్రలోయోలాను మా అమ్మలోయోలాను ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా దేవ సేవ తలచే ఆంధ్రలోయోలాను మా అమ్మలోయోలాను ఆదరించు దేవా ఆదరించుమా.
The Vice Principal, to welcome the gathering, Grandfather G. Raipa, S.J.
A fine morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to webinar on Right to Information Act, Issues and Challenges. We are proud to be Indians because of our governance. India is one of the biggest democracies in the world. Democracy, as defined by Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States of America, is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That is, the interests of the people should superintend over even that of government officials. Therefore, government officials are called into service and not to be served. It is a form of government where a constitution guarantees basic personal and political rights, fair and free elections, and independent courts of law. The basic objective of Right to Information Act is to empower the citizens, promote transparency and accountability in the working of the government, to contain corruption, and to make our democracy work for the people in real sense. A well-informed citizen is better equipped than not so well-informed or misinformed. Sad thing is that today we have umpty number of channels of communication to inform and to misinform the citizens. The Right to Information Act is a big step towards making the citizens well informed about the activities of the government. At this juncture, I appreciate and congratulate the Department of Political Science, especially Dr. Samuel Dayaka, HOD, the faculty, the student organizers for organizing a wonderful webinar on Right to Information Act, issues and challenges. I also wish to thank and appreciate our resource person, Shri.P.Vijayababu garu, the former Commissioner RTI, Chairman of AP Intellectual and Citizens Forum, High Court Advocate, for accepting our invitation and to be the chief speaker of the day. A warm welcome to the participants and all who are participating in this wonderful webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your soothing words of welcome. Now I request Chetan Pramod, DPH 51, to introduce the guest speaker. Chetan Pramod.
Good morning, Reverend Fathers. Good morning, respected lecturers, and our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri.P. Vijayababu, former RTI Commissioner for Andhra Pradesh. My dear beloved Liolites, it's very important for us to know about the man we hear this morning. That's our Chief Guest. And our Chief Guest was born on 30th June 1958. Yesterday was his birthday. So he went to CVR school for his schooling, and then he went to SRR and CVR college to pursue his Bachelor of Arts degree. His higher education is colossal. He pursued Master of Law, LLM, in Constitutional Law, MA in Political Science, another MA in Telugu Literature, MSc in Psychology, PG Diploma in Journalism, LLB Diploma in Right to Information and Common Laws. So he's an eminent person, and the offices he held speaks about his eminence. He was twice made National Secretary of Indian Media Center IMC. Also twice he was made National Secretary for National Union of Journalists India, NUSI. He served as coordinator of India News in Europe Service, INEP. He was also the editor-in-chief of Andhra Prabha Telugu Daily. And lastly, the highest statutory position that he served as RTI Commissioner of Andhra Pradesh and Information Commission Act. Right now, he's an advocate, active advocate in High Court of Andhra Pradesh and High Court of Telangana. He's also the chairman of Andhra Pradesh Intellectuals and Citizens Forum, APIC. After all this, he's neither tired nor retired because he still writes, he presents papers, and he's an active TV analyst. Two of his latest writings are Kashmir Article 370 and Modi Again. It's an English writing. Of course, it's also translated into Telugu. Historical Need, Again Modi, Charitraka Avasaram Malli Modi. And this book has been released by our Honorable Union Minister for Defense, Rajnath Singh, in Kadapa. Besides, our chief guest has attended as guest lecturer in various universities like Nagarjuna University, Andhra University, Krishna University, SV University, Usmania University, where he pursued his law, and also in colleges like Rachana Journalism College and other reputed institutions. And he spoke on feature writing, writing skills in journalism, and importance of Telugu literature. As a TV analyst, he received applause from various sections of society for his constructive analysis on international, national, and state affairs. He regularly attends discussions on popular Telugu media channels like Sakshi, Doordarshan, TV9, TV5, HMTV, Andhra Jyoti, NTV, and the list continues. Today's our chief guest received many awards and has been felicitated by many popular organizations at national and international levels on various occasions for the services he rendered for culture and literature fields. Our chief guest also visited many countries like Ukraine, Malaysia, Singapore, the United States of America, and many other European countries. This is all about our chief guest. And I feel incomplete if I skip his family, because I found his legacy in his children. And above everything, his family is a spiritual family. His wife, Shri.P. Vijayababu, is holding as many as 14 postgraduate degrees. Right now, she's retired officer from Secretariat of Andhra Pradesh. And his daughter and son, both of them are Nandi Award winners, the prestigious Nandi Award. Sir's daughter, Dr. Shrutakirti, is psychologist, TV presenter, and renowned Indian classical dance guru. And his son, Kaushik Babu Garu, is a movie artist. And Kaushik Babu Garu is a mythological icon in South India, particularly in Kerala, for his roles like Swami Ayappa, Jagadguru, Adi Shankara, and many more. So this is about our chief guest this morning, and his name is P. Vijayababu, former RTI Commissioner of Andhra Pradesh. So, yeah, and he's here to enlighten us as human beings, to empower us as citizens, and to encourage us as students. So we are really lucky and more than fortunate to have you in our midst. We honor your presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramod, for your gesture. Sir P. Vijayababu Garu, the floor is yours. Please.
Good morning, all of you, respected fathers, lecturers, and intellectuals, and my dear students. First and foremost, I appreciate Mr. Samuel Dayakar for taking this particular topic, and my sincere thanks to the principal for giving this a wonderful opportunity to say a few words about the RTI. And my sincere thanks and blessings to Mr. Chetan for delivering a few words about my profile. let us not waste the time. I would like to come directly into the subject. As in his forward, the principal and Mr. Dayakar delivered a few words about the importance of the RTI. Of course, you are all aware that the RTI is very important in this society, as our principal quoted the Abraham Lincoln quotation. But let it be. It's my pleasure to associate with you all on this particular subject. As you all know, the exactly 1.5 decade ago, one could not have even dreamt that an ordinary citizen can expose the nepotism and corruption in the system of governance by making use of the RTI. But of course, I believe that the most credit should goes to the RTI activists who led a great movement in various states, the Rajasthan, Delhi, and all other states, which the movement also led to the Lokpal movement. So, in this regard, my hearty congratulations to all the sincere RTI activists. Why I have particularly quote that sincere RTI activists, I'll tell you later on. So, the RTI uh, has become a human and constitutional right of the public. The denial of the right can be contested under the RTI Act. We are all aware that RTI is key to the good governance. A strong civil society participating in public affairs and behaving under the rule of law. But whenever the RTI is allowed to function and wherever the implementation regime is good, then only the RTI has proved to be a very good and effective tool. The first and foremost is the government has to believe RTI is critical to the existence of the democracy. If you believe in that, then only the rest of resources are necessarily to put in place. In US, one of the department received 3 millions of RTI applications in 1 year, and they spent $30 million to process these applications. So they set aside of resources because they believe that freedom of information is extremely critical to the functioning of the society or functioning of the body. So that belief should be very important. I think first we should have a belief in it. As a country, as a society, as a government, we have to believe that RTI has to exist in the democracy. As earlier Mr. Dayakar and our father told that the, the main aim and purpose of the RTI is transparency and accountability. Why this transparency and accountability? To make the corruption-free government, to make the participatory democracy from voting democracy, to make ourselves great, our country great, we should have a strong social commitment to build up the society, to build up the country. As per RT, but here today's our topic is the issues and challenges. Here is one challenge which I want to particularly would like to touch about the government employees, the government officers. In RTA term, they have to the providers of the information. So as per RTA, technically they feels, especially the government employees feels that there are two parallel lines. Even for the common people also feels that there are two parallel lines. That is, one is the seekers of the information, they are applicants, and in other term, citizens. And the second is providers of the information. They are the public servants. What do you mean the public servant? Most of the, I'm not criticizing all the government employees, all the public servants, but majority of the government servants, they feels that they come from the heaven. They are different from the society. They feels that they are different from the common man or citizen, or in RTI term, they are different from the seekers of the information. So naturally, when the citizens approach or the applicants approach the government servants, they feels that they are different. Then naturally there will be a conflict between these two sections. But I would like to say, especially to the providers of the information, there are no two sections, no two poles, no two lines, no groups. Here is only one group, that is the citizens group. The public servants should realize that they are also as like as any other citizen, except at the time of providing the information. I believe that in this program also there may be so many government officers or government servants or the children of the government officers. So I would like to humbly explain how they are also part and parcel of the citizens. Please keenly observe these few words. Say, for example, in a week of 168 hours, if you are a government servant, even if you are a hardworking government servant, that is not more than 32% of the time you are government. How it is? While I'll explain later on. That is 32% means 55 hours. So while coming to office from your residence, if the roads are bad, you suffer like any other citizen. If the repairs are very poor, you will suffer. If the green cover goes just for a small rain, you are in the same boat as like as any other citizen. So my humble submission is that you are about 32% stake as government servant and the rest as citizen. Let us take one more step. In an average span of life, maybe 70 to 80 or 65 to 75, you are a government servant for half of the time. The rest are like any other citizen. You retire and you get out. Then you will suffer exactly like any other citizen. And therefore, this 32% stake, I would submit, comes down to 16%. So 16% stake as government servant and the balance as citizen. Just take another one more step. In an average family of 4, usually one will be a government servant and other 3 will not. But to all of us, what happens to spouse or children or parent is in fact times more important to us than actually what happens to us. So therefore, my submission is your stake as government servant is 4%, 96% your stake as citizen. And therefore, my submission is now there is only one side, there is no other side, that is the citizens' side. What benefits to citizens are bound to benefit all of us. So there really cannot be two sides or two poles. So our combined, being a government officers, being a government servants in other terms, or citizens, our combined goal is to build a strong nation, corruption-free government, transparent governance. This is the heart and essence of the democracy. In this regard, my submission is without having any prejudice, ego, aggressiveness. The process should go like give and take policy. When you use aggressiveness, it puts up the other person. The other person is also a human being like you. If I taunt you, your immediate response is to respond on the same manner. whether I am a government officer or not a government officer, all of us will respond like a human beings. So let us respect each other, because we are all equals. We are all want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to take others' bread, because we are human beings. But today, what is happening? The greed, the prejudice, the ego has barricaded our souls with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, but we feel too little. But my submission is, more than knowledge, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness, gentleness. This is the way of life which gives happy and beautiful. Without these qualities, life will be violent and everything will be unrest in the society. So that is exactly happening between the government officers and the citizens. So what I have been submitted to the government officers, if you are really realized, let's join our hands to the citizens. Not only that, because of the enactment of the RTI, first and foremost, rather than the citizens, the government servants are maximum beneficiaries, but they are not realizing as of today. Why? Because you are all aware that in olden days, in the past, all the appointments and the transfers, the promotions, everything will be with the nepotism, corruption, and influence. But today, what is happening? If something happened in any government department, immediately it will be prosecuted under RTI. Not only these are small things, the governments are shaking with the RTI. We are all aware, because of the housing scam and 4G scam. Such kind of many scams are shaken the governments because of this RTI Act only. But today, what is happening? The great tool. I am not calling this is a weapon. So weapon that itself gives another different meaning. So the right term is a tool. With this tool, the governments are shaking, and the government officers are shaking, and the maximum the politicians are also shaking. That is why here today's program, most of the students are participating. So that is why I would like to say to all the youngsters, and also the people, those who are much aware and concerned to the society problems, we should combinedly, we should jointly, we should demand that the political parties also should come under the RTA Act. But when we raise this dialogue, immediately we know that there are different kinds of parties which every day they are quarreling, fighting each other, this and that. But when we talk about that all the political parties should come into the RTA Act, immediately they will join together. They do not want. Why? Because they have to exist with the black money, with all the black activities. No party is exception. There is no exception for any party. But our demand is, we want participatory democracy, not voting this democracy. Because of this voting democracy, what is happening? The political parties, including once the great communist parties, are also now, they are spending huge money for contesting the elections. huge money. But where they are getting all the money? Huge money they are distributing for the voters. So we want being you have to put a tag to the today's program below. Hamara paisa, hamara hisab. Yes, this democracy is ours, people's democracy. We are the rulers of the society. So you should answerable to the people. You should answerable to the public. Where you are getting the money for organizing such a huge meetings? They are spending not lakhs now, nowadays crores of rupees, carrying the public in various carriers, supplying the liquor, food, and other some gifts. So how much money you are spending? I want to know. How much money you are acquiring? I want to know. But whereas the political parties do not want to come under the frame of the RTI, under the ambit of the RTI. So this we have to demand. We got this RTI as a People's Act, but it is not fulfilled. In between, while we are demanding that political parties should come under the RTI ambit, before that, what happened? Actually, I was the last commissioner for the both states. I have served the United Andhra Pradesh, and after a bifurcation also, I have served for the both states. I was the last commissioner who enjoyed all the powers on par with the chief secretary and equal to the election commissioner. But now the commissioners, they lost all these rights. Why? Because this act has been amended. The People's Act has been under the clutches of the government, and for their facility, they have changed this act. Because most of the people, most of the citizens, they are asking this and that. Those such kind of headache they do not want. That is why they have amended this act with their facility. Now the RTI commissioners are also, I would like to say, without having any hesitation, they are also as like as any other government servant. They have to get the salaries on the mercy like other officers. So then, how can they give the judgments, strong judgments towards the public? They cannot. So now it is, I have no hesitation to say that the RTI Act now is a toothless lie. The spirit of the RTI has been totally diluted. In this regard, again we have to demand. There are so many intellectuals and former RTI, RTI commissioners are also demanded. That is very unfortunate, unruly, and undemocratic. I'll read out the amendment bill, especially sections 13 and 16 of the Right to Information Act 2005. Section 13, the original act sets the term of the Central Chief Information Commissioner and Information Commissioner's tenure is 5 years. We enjoyed 5 years tenure, but now the tenure of the RTI commissioners are only 3 years. They have reduced their services and also the salaries, the benefits, and the privileges. Section 16, the original act, deals that State Chief Information Commissioner and Information Commissioners. It sets the term state level CICs and ICs from 5 years to 3 years, which is very unfortunate and undemocratic the bill removes this provision that the state and the central government will notify the term of officers. So they have to depend on the mercy of the government. In this regard, how can they give proper judgments in favor of the public? They can't. So this bill is totally unruly. I'll read out small comments of the on this amendment. The RTI amendments direct attack on people's right to know, says many former information commissioners. The Lok Sabha on July 22 passed a bill proposing amendments to the RTI Information Act 2005. So, in this regard, there is a strong contest, which especially from Mr. Habibullah and Deepak Sandhu, both are former, and Sailesh Gandhi, he is an excellent activist and RTA commissioner from Delhi. All these three people are also Mr. Ansari and Yashovardhan. These are all RTA commissioners from Delhi. So government not being honest about why it is bringing this amendment act as they have condemned. So there are so many criticisms on this amendment of the bill. But anyway, in my point of view, where there is a will, there is a way. Even when I was a commissioner, I also faced so many hurdles, lots of hurdles. But I didn't compromise on myself. I stood for the justice. And of course, I'm not against to the public servants, and at the same time, I am totally not supporter of the RTA activists also. Why? Because some of the blackmailers under the guise of RTI, they are simply blackmailing the public authorities. Such a notorious activity, horrible. I know that many public servants, they spend sleepless nights because of these blackmailers. Such kind of activities also, without having any hesitation, I have snubbed. And in other terms, there are notorious hardness of government officers on the name of their unions, on the name of their supporters, this and that. Such kind of officers also, without having any hesitation, without any compromise, I have snubbed. Snubbed means I have given a strong judgments against them. So in that regard also, I have faced so many problems. And in turn, they tried to throw some mud against me. Then I challenged myself and I approached the governor. If is there any small flaw from my side, if is there any wrong judgment from my side, I am ready to resign myself. I challenged in Rajbhavan. So in that way, I extended my services just to uphold the letter and spirit of RTI. And today's program, what I mostly focus is regarding the People's Act and our social responsibility and humanity, more than the knowledge, more than our education. But regarding these sections, I don't want to get into the academic side, because if you want to know about the sections and all that, simply you can browse the Google. From there, you can know what are the sections, what are the provisions, and everything. So this is the main goal is we have to build up a strong society, participatory democracy in the place of voting democracy. This I would like to put before you. Thank you, one and all. And once again, I to the management of the Loyola College, and especially Father and Samuel Dayakar and the team of the organizers and the webinar technical people. Thank you.
Answers. If you have any queries, please post your queries and questions. So, Bashita and Pramod, any queries, please? You know,
The information is given to the petitioner based on whether giving such information serves public interest. This word public interest is frequently used as a criteria for denying the information, sir. I just want, what is the definition of this word public interest? Thank you, sir.
When any information, first and foremost, the government officers in various sections, they have to disclose on their own without seeking any citizen. They have to disclose the information. Apart from that, if is there any other information also, we can seek. But usually what they will says, there is no public interest. Public interest in sense, if you are seeking any private information or the information which is confined to personal information, then they will deny. But when there is a larger public interest, certainly they have to provide the information. Say, for example, I tell you one thing. The couple, they are working in government sections, in a different sections. So the lady officer underwent some operation, and she claimed some of the medical bills. The husband, not other person also, the husband is seeking that particular information to provide. What was the operation she underwent, and how much money she paid, and what are the claims. So such kind of information can be denied. Why? Because it is purely a personal information. Such kind of personal information should not ask even husband on the name of RTI. There is no larger public interest like that.
Any inbuilt safeguards for the whistleblowers in the RTI Act 2005, sir?
Yeah, actually there is a protection for the whistleblowers, but and not only that, the higher authority, they have to form a team of the observers, and they have to review how many cases are filing and what is happening when the information seekers are asking the information. If is there any attacks or something like that, they should take immediate action. The officers should intervene immediately, and they have to take such action. But I believe that that is not monitoring properly, though on the though it is there or not. But we have to demand that, is it functioning properly or not. If it is functioning, just you tell the name of the officers, how many officers are working for this particular team, in that way. So if it is not there, even you can go to the court to demand to enact that team. It is our right, people's right. Yeah, here they are asking that my experience. Actually, at one stage, there was a lot of pressure on me. One side, the blackmailers under the guise of RTI activism, they are strongly criticizing, and some of the stories are also carried. And in other side, mostly I have faced a lot of problems from the most corrupted revenue department, the RDOs, DROs, village revenue officers. They are all totally, most of the people, I am not saying that all the officers, but more than 75% of the officers are totally, the tahsildars and all that, they are highly corrupted. So I was very strong towards them. At one stage, I would like to say my experience when I visited Delhi. Any government office should display the RTI board at the entrance. RTI, what is the name of the department, how many officers are working there, and their phone numbers, mobile numbers, everything with it is mandate. They have to display. But when I visited for case hearings at Tirupati, and at lunchtime, I used to visit all the government offices whenever I find time. So I visited revenue office. But though I have given a prior information, the officers, they did not care about it. Simply, the board was kept in outside with all the teacups and some other waste material. Then I bombarded and I have given notices. And I returned back to I was back to Hyderabad. What happened, on the next day, they have convened a meeting and saying that the RTI Commissioner was visited to Tirupati and asked her to arrange a darshan, and we have arranged everything. In turn, he demanded some of the other things also. Then we denied. That is why he alleged on us. So these are the allegations on me. But what I used to say is, though I have a privilege to travel in air, in the flights, mostly I was traveled on my own car. So then I challenged, and I went to the Rajbhavan also. I met the governor and told that there will be a toll gates. So ask them to get the information from the toll gates, my car and my car number, and the darshan slips, everything with us. But we have a protocol to offer prayer at Tirumala. That is a different, that is not related with any money. And even darshan tickets also I bought, that slips also with me. If they have any evidence for their allegations, from here only I am ready to resign myself. I challenge it. And I met with the same words, with the same letters, the then chief minister, and I submitted all these things. So these are the corrupted officers. You have to take action. Even that collector is also supporting, but he didn't listen. He didn't listen. It is very unfortunate. So such kind of stories are there. Many stories are there. But of course, but I saw there is a satisfaction that I served maximum to the public. Yeah, here there is a question: what is the reason for the lowest rate of the request to the RTI? Because, as I have already told you, the letter and spirit of the RTI is totally diluted. They are not responsible officers. They do not want to provide the proper information. So the people are also now automatically they have vexed. But in our tenure, we have received every day thousands of applications, thousands, not in hundreds. But that spirit is, as you rightly asked, it is diluted. Thank you. Thank you very much.
A vote of thanks. Balabashita, please.
Sir, on what grounds can the right to information be denied or rejected, sir?
it depends upon the seeking of the information. If you seek anyone's personal information, that personal information will not be given. And if you seek any information regarding the security of the nation, that also can be denied. There are some provisions. If you want to know clearly, just you can simply browse. There is a lot of information regarding the RTI. But apart from these sections, which not attract under the denial of the information, that you can provide. If they are not provide the information, you can challenge to the commission. Even if you feels that commission also do not give any proper justice to you, you can file a writ before the High Court. Here, Alekhya is asking that on the name of national interest, does right to be informed is curtailed? Yes, because in the interest of the national, end of the day, whatever it is, we have, it is our collective responsibility to secure the nation. So if anything is related to the national interest, that can be denied or curtailed, certainly. But if there is a larger public interest which is not affecting the national interest, such kind of interest information can be provided.
So you
Sir,
also said,
Srividya is asking, what could be done to bring awareness among the common people about their right to information, sir?
Yeah, that is good question. Why? Because actually this is the responsibility of the government. The government officers, instance the collectors, the sub collectors, they have to organize the awareness camps with the citizens as well as the government servants also. But they are not doing. And also they have to propagate as per the provisions of RTI Act. The government should propagate. They have to give publicity in various advertisements and pamphlets and the dramas and the skits. They have to propagate about the RTI. They have to conduct the awareness camps, but the government is not doing. So for that also, you can challenge first before the commission, and also you can challenge before the High Court. Not only that, there are so many social organizations are there, but they are conducting, like the Loyola College, they are conducting maximum seminars, this and that. In such way, they are doing their level best. But that is not only enough. The government should act. What I have mentioned in my speech also, the government should come forward to do some programs for the awareness of the RTA.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Pramod, do you have any more questions, please, Pramod?
no more questions, sir. But one of my classmates, after seeing Vijayababu Garu,
Yeah.
said, I don't think it's a silly question, but the question is, whenever we see an advocate or a jury speaking, whether in TV interviews or here debates, we see a lot
Yeah.
number of people behind them, sir. What are they all about? Is his question.
Please repeat. I didn't understand.
So whenever we see advocate like you or any jurist like Subramanya Swami or Kapil Sibal in speaking debates, so back to them there will be a lot number of racks filled with books. So the question is, what are all these books, sir?
Books, you mean?
Yes, sir. Books.
Yeah.
The volume.
Yeah. Just we are trying our level best to bring out the books, but how many people are there nowadays to read such kind of books with all efforts, with pains and money? Bringing out a book is very hard work, you know. We can speak many words, but if you want to bring in the form of a book, it is a very hard task.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Bachita, do you have any more questions?
No, sir, that's all, sir.
Okay, then if not, then you propose vote of thanks, please.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone, and it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for today's session, today's webinar. On behalf of the organizing committee and audience, I sincerely thank our today's guest and speaker, Shri.P.Vijayababu garu, for sharing with us the valuable knowledge. Because I'm pretty sure that this information our guest gave us today will definitely help us with our studies, and not only with our studies but as well as our future as citizens of India. And I would also like to thank our chief patrons, Reverend Father P. Balashauri, SJ, Rector, Andhra Loyola College, Reverend Father Dr. Mark Sagairaj, SJ, Correspondent, Andhra Loyola College, and Reverend Father Dr. G.A.P. Kishore, Principal, ALC, Reverend Father G. Rayappa, SJ, Vice Principal, Andhra Loyola College, for extending their support for organizing this webinar. And most importantly, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. R. Ravindrabas sir, reader in Telugu and Public Information Officer, ALC, and the captain of the ship, Dr. A. Samuel Riker sir, head of Department Political Science, Andhra Loyola College, for making this happen. And I also extend my thanks to the student organizers and all the participants for making it graceful. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Bachita, for your nice words. I request all of you to upstand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
So thank you, Andy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vijayababu garu, for your wonderful speech on the right to information and enlightening our students on the issues and challenges. On behalf of Andhra Loyola College, the management, and the Department of Political Science, personally, I thank you. I think when I approached, maybe I think some 3 to 4 days back, and sir immediately accepted to deliver his message on this particular topic. Once again, on behalf of the Department of Political Science, Andhra Loyola College, I thank Vijayababu garu for his gracious presence. I also would like to thank for the principal and for the vice principal and the other people who helped me in conducting this particular webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And special thanks to Mr. P.T. Parker, who has given all the technical assistance for this wonderful webinar. Thank you. The participants who have registered will be getting the certificates, and the link for the certificates will be posted in the chat box. Thank you.